And in the blue corner at 242 pounds, the Mississippi heavyweight champion, Mr. Olympia.
Mr. Olympia being introduced, the Mississippi heavyweight title holder, dressed in the purple tights and the mask, versus the rugged Tully Blanchard.
Tully Blanchard is a rugged individual indeed, and of course, a lot of the fans in this area may not be well versed on this young man's background. He's probably one of the most celebrated high school athletes ever to come out of the great state of Texas, and boys, we both know some of the greatest athletes, not only football players, wrestlers, basketball players, baseball players. Texas is a great athletic state. This young man came out of high school with one of the greatest records, tremendous high school athlete, went on to West Texas State University, an all-Missouri Valley Conference quarterback, a thinking athlete, and just a tremendous, tremendous athlete. And this should be a great confrontation between two well-conditioned men. And, of course, the Mississippi champion, Mr. Olympia, and Tully Blanchard held several titles on his own. It should be a great match between champions.
Not only that, Jim, but we're bringing it to the forefront now. He's bringing that mental ability from the football field into professional wrestling. It's proven to really be a valuable weapon to him. And in the past few weeks, we've really seen the mental part of wrestling come to the forefront here, as well as the physical aspect. So Tully Blanchard in there against the champion of the great state of Mississippi, Mr. Olympia. The side headlock now, and exerting the pressure on the side of the head of Tully Blanchard. And he breaks it.
Blanchard stepping down very, very deeply, trying to get underneath the arm of Mr. Olympia. Olympia too strong on that maneuver. But Blanchard had the right idea. Wide base, getting underneath the man and trying to turn out of the maneuver. There's a very high hip lock and takeover by Mr. Olympia, and Blanchard very wisely, a little disoriented. His thinking was not as clear and sharp as it should have been. He got out of the ring, he's regrouping, and now he's right back in there.
Out for a moment of respite, back in now. Each man has a lot of respect for the other, and well, they should.
Olympia going right back on that arm. Evidently, that's the game plan of Mr. Olympia, to work on that, looks like the left arm of Tully Blanchard. Holding on to the arm, and good strategy being employed here by the masked man. Olympia holding on to the arm once again. Notice the very wide stance that Olympia is utilizing right here at this point in time. Wide base.
A one-man gang, 454 pounds from Skandor Akbar Stable. He's put out Ernie Ladd, he's put out Ted DiBiase, he's put out Dick Murdoch, and who in the world matchmaker Grizzly Smith can continue to put in there against him? I have no idea. I don't know what it's going to take.
I don't think the wrestling world knows what it's going to take, boys. Great maneuver by these two men. A very, very closely fought encounter thus far. I think we're judging it on points. Perhaps Mr. Olympia has the edge at this point in time. Blanchard draping both arms over the top rope and holding himself in the corner. And Mr. Olympia now definitely at the disadvantage.
Almost, about 2 3/4, and he's checking with referee Jack Howe. Blanchard thought he had him. It's 2 count, and he was coming down to the 3rd.
Blanchard should employ some very serious strategy here. He's a very sharp young man, going for the pinfall very quickly. Perhaps a lesser experienced man would have tried to work on his opponent a little bit more, but not Blanchard. Goes right for the pinfall. You know, boy, people around the country are talking about the one-man gang. As I said earlier, no one knows where this man's from. No one knows his background. He is probably the thing that people are talking about in wrestling right now. He's injured some of the top names in wrestling, and you know, the old saying, what goes around comes around. It's going to be interesting to see this time.
That'd be one of the things you're talking about, but after last week and this week, another item in the professional wrestling world will be Bob Roop and Paul Orndorff. You can bet your bottom dollar on that, Jim.
And I'm sure that promoters throughout the country would like to be vying for that great rematch, or not a rematch, but the match for the North American Heavyweight Championship. I'm sure that some of the top promoters around the country will be vying for that match, and wherever that match is held, I wouldn't miss it if I was in the area.
Next week, the big cat Ernie Ladd, who's out with the injury. You saw the surgery. You heard Jim Ross last week explain the technical aspects of it. We'll have him with us here next week on Mid-South Wrestling and see just how he's progressing.
You know, Boyd, I think in this match right now at this point in time, the momentum has shifted somewhat to Tully Blanchard's side. Blanchard now trying to go for the standing vertical suplex and being blocked very well. Great maneuver by Olympia. A tremendous explosion from the legs of Olympia, reversing the maneuver. I thought for momentarily that Tully Blanchard had the momentum.
Well, you recall just a few minutes ago, Tully Blanchard had Mr. Olympia down twice in succession for 2 count, almost a third, and now it's coming back, and Mr. Olympia is the man on top for the 2 count. And then he catches him to the midsection.
Blanchard going right for the pin very, very quickly. That's a smart maneuver by this young man. Smart maneuver, going for the pinfall very quickly. He's a tenacious individual. Backbreaker very expertly applied. Blanchard's got his feet on the ropes.
He's going for the leverage.
Jack Howell, good maneuver by the referee. Good maneuver by the referee, and Blanchard is really upset at the referee. Inside drop, Fraley's got it locked.
Taking advantage of it quickly, and a successful maneuver. Mr. Olympia, even though he wanted a controversial victory, but Mr. Olympia over Tully Blanchard in a quick 1, 2, 3.